He's getting older.
Hello there.
Oh, hit the volume button.
But not wiser.
King of the world, baby. King of the world.
This is the Lefty Show.
Welcome, everybody, to the Lefty Show, episode number 35. Welcome, one and all. I am your host, Lefty. Wow, that took a while to load, that YouTube page did. God damn. I wonder if my internet's doing all right. Anyway, welcome to the Lefty Show, everybody. I'm your host, Lefty. Glad to be here. Episode number 35 on today, Friday the 13th. Ooh. June 13th in the year of our Spaghetti Monster 2014. Welcome one, welcome all. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. In which, you know, in whatever way you decide to tune in. And it's not really tuning in. You're just clicking on a YouTube video or downloading a podcast on iTunes. But you get the idea. Again, I'm your host, Lefty. Hope to put on a good show for you today. Again, Friday the 13th. Thank you to everybody that's been watching the show, liking and favoriting and subscribing on YouTube. Helping the channel grows helps the show grow. Thank you to everybody that's been sharing the show with your friends, family, and co-workers. Hey, Mom! You need to watch the Lefty Show. Why did it sound like I took a bong hit right in the middle? Like, Mom! You need to watch the Lefty Show. Yeah, man. Get high with your mom and watch the Lefty Show if you're in Colorado where it's legal, or parts of California. And it's easier now to share the Lefty Show, grassroots movement. Easier to get that going because we are now on iTunes. That's right, baby. iTunes, you can find the Lefty Show. We've also got an RSS feed. If you're on Android, go to leftyshow.podbean.com and you can subscribe to the Lefty Show there. And you can also find us on the iTunes Store big time. Go to the iTunes Store, search the Lefty Show, and you can subscribe there and download the show. And downloads and ratings are greatly appreciated, and they help with seeding and whatnot with on iTunes. So go to iTunes, search the Lefty Show, subscribe, download the shows, listen, take the show with you wherever you go, and you can share it with your friends, family, and coworkers at work. You say, hey, check out this tablet. Check out my tablet. I got the Lefty Show on here. You want to listen to the Lefty Show? It's amazing. Thank you to everybody that's been donating. I'mRaising.com/643 Productions. There's a link in the description. Just go to I'mRaising.com/643 Productions if you want to donate. Thank you to everybody that's been doing that. You guys are amazing. I greatly appreciate all the donations. You guys are truly awesome. Thank you to everybody for doing that. I'mRaising.com/643 Productions. And all the propers, did I do that right? Let me look. I'm picking up a piece of paper like I have it written down. Like, here's a list of the things to do on the show. Yeah, I think that's all the propers. Friday the 13th. I was thinking about this when I woke up, realizing, oh my God, it's Friday the 13th. Is that, you know, there's a 13th of every single month. But only on Friday the 13th do we, for some reason, care about it. Now, I don't think it's just because of the movie or the movie series Friday the 13th, because there's a reason the movie series was named Friday the 13th. The 13th of Friday, or Friday the 13th, on if a Friday happens to fall on the 13th of any given month, there had to be some connotation to that previously. Otherwise, unless the movie title was just a crapshoot and they hit gold and everyone's like, oh man, Friday the 13th now is when, who is it? Is it Freddy? Or is it Jason Voorhees who's coming to get you if it's Friday the 13th? Or is it, oh geez, I don't even know. Just stupid, bad horror movies. Not even, you see, the thing about horror movies with me is, number one, I don't like jump scares. Not because, I mean, they get me, they work, jump scares work, obviously, but I don't dislike them because they work. I dislike the jump scares because it's so cheap. It's a cheap way to scare somebody with a jump scare. I was watching a Scene Anders video where he was playing some scary mod in Gary's Mod with his girlfriend. And, you know, it was just the game itself, not anything Scene Anders did. And I believe there's another Source Engine mod, Cry of Fear, I want to say it's called. And I tried to play it. I'm like, ooh, a horror game, a co-op horror game. I was actually going to do it with Katie last year. You know, I figured, oh, we could do this. It would be a lot of fun. But I started playing the game, and it's just a series of jump scares. It's just a series of things jumping out at you or popping up with a loud audio file accompanying it. And, you know, yeah, it works to scare me, but that's the cheapest scare you can get. It's like a fart joke, right? Everybody loves a good fart joke, but if that's all your comedy bit is a series of fart jokes, somebody's gonna say, all right, well, what else you got, man? Where's the have you ever seen this? Is anybody else, you know, where's the observational humor? You're just making fart noises on stage into the microphone, and it was funny the first couple of times, but now it's just kind of lame. And it's bordering on offensive because you think so little of me, or you've put so little thought into your comedy bits that you're just farting into the microphone and I mean, you know, I can only watching people get hit in the nuts is funny, but it's only funny in short little bursts. You can't watch an entire compilation of somebody getting hit in the nuts and laugh every time. The first time somebody gets hit in the nuts, you go, bah, the guy got hit in the balls. It's hilarious. Then the second time you go, ball sack hit, direct impact. And then by the 25th time in the YouTube compilation, you're, oh, that's a ball sack hit. Okay. Okay. I'm good. And it's the same thing with bad horror movies that jump scare. And if that's your bit, if that's how you scare me, is here's this guy in a scary mask and he'll just pop up out of places. That's not horror. That's just you using the cheesiest, cheapest. It's Bush League movie making. That's what it is. It's Bush League. There's plenty of ways to be Bush League in making a movie. One is jump scares in a horror film. Another would be, I don't know, a rom-com. Romantic, you know, the bullshit romantic comedies, the cliches in romantic comedies. Bush League. That's Bush League filmmaking. Buddy cops. I would say buddy cop movies, Bush League now. It's been done to death. We don't like each other, but we are slowly and begrudgingly going to find some common ground and then form a real friendship. Bush League. It's been done before. It's been done to death. Jump scares have been done to death in modern horror movies, or at least horror movies, the popular ones, or many of the popular ones that I've seen. It's just jumps, and I also don't do the throat cutting well. I don't deal with that well. It's just a thing that I have. I've got a thing with it. I like Sweeney Todd, the musical. I have a hard time dealing with the throat cutting. I've got a thing about it. It's just weird. But, gore like that sometimes can get to me, but I'm not, ew. But when you just, oh my God, I opened the curtain and the guy's in the bathtub. Oh, fuck. All right. That's all you got? I mean, you got me. Oh, did I scare you? Yeah, you did. But you're a cheap bastard. And I fucking hate you. I want my $12 back. Or give me back my $15 or whatever. Oh, no, that's an M&M line. What's this bitch retarded? Give me back my $15. So I'm not a big fan of the modern horror genre. You know what did horror right? The Shining. The Shining scared the fucking shit out of me. Nope. You know what does horror right? Fuck, the guys that tweet, like I work security on Reddit, and they post pictures, they work security in some office building, and there's a long hallway, and it's dark, but there's intermittent light coming from, the ceiling every, whatever, 50 feet or whatever. That's horror. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. But when I'm just watching something and then blah, did I get you? Yeah. Yeah, you got me, man. Good job. You proud of yourself? I hope you are. You got me really good with that scare. So not a big fan of horror movies. But getting back to Friday the 13th, my question is, why aren't, the 13th, oh my God, 13 unlucky, but what if it isn't about Friday the 13th? That oh my God, it's Friday. Oh, what, Wednesday the 13th? Like, it's not as unlucky. It's not as dangerous. There's not as crazy people. I don't understand. Like, the 13th of the month happens. And when it's Tuesday the 13th, nobody bats an eye. But when it happens to be on a Friday, whoa, look out, man. Whoa, Friday the 13th, friggy diggy. Okay, well, when it was Wednesday the 13th last month, you didn't say a goddamn thing. So what's the difference now? Well, you getting drunk tonight? I don't understand it. It's the silliest thing. It doesn't make even a lick of sense. It makes no sense. If you wanted to say it's the 13th of the month and 13 is an unlucky number because of crazy superstitions ingrained into humanity for over centuries, okay, well then Tuesday the 13th, Monday the 13th, oh shit, it's Monday the 13th. I would say Monday the 13th is probably a shittier day than Friday the 13th. Because Friday the 13th, you're going to a bar and getting shitty. Or you can go to a bar and get shitty if you want. Monday the 13th, you're still working off the weekend. You're coming off the weekend, you got to go back to work. You wake up at, whatever time you wake up to go to work. And it's Monday. Motherfucker. On top of everything that happens on the 13th. Monday the 13th should be the day where everybody goes, son of a bitch. Oh my God, it's Monday and it's the 13th. God damn it. Son of a bitch. I'm still kind of hungover, watching football, getting my buzz on. Now I got to be up at 8 in the morning. Oh my God, I got to go to fucking work for 8 hours. That project's due. Oh, and of course, it's the day on the calendar of the month, the day in the month that is the corresponds to an unlucky number. On top of all that other shit, I've got to deal with this. Friday the 13th being like, oh, Friday the 13th, blah, 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 doesn't make any goddamn sense. There's no rhyme or reason at all whatsoever to it. It doesn't, like horror movies, it doesn't do a good job of suspending my disbelief. I'll be down with some bullshit. I can get down on bullshit if you sell me a good story. If you say, on Friday the 13th of blah, 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 came down from the high heavens that today would be the day that the dead would rise and walk the streets. Unless you spun around 3 times and said, Candyman in the bathroom and turned the lights off. The 4th time he'd be there. If you sell me a good story, I'll buy into you. I'll suspend my disbelief and I'll buy into your bullshit. Oh yeah, okay, ha ha ha. Friday the 13th. All right. Christmas. Perfect. I buy into the bullshit. Whatever. Fine. You want to celebrate this guy that didn't really exist. Whatever. Fine. It's Christmas, the ending or the beginning of the winter solstice, a winter solstice celebration, and we get to come together in family and sit. It's all cold outside, and we get, we all sit together by the fire and drink and exchange presents, and I'll buy into your bullshit if there's something else. If oh, okay, yeah. But Friday the 13th doesn't do it for me, just like horror movies. Let's split up. What is it about being in a horror movie where everybody's IQ drops by 30 points the minute somebody starts stabbing somebody else with a knife? Whenever somebody with a knife shows up, everybody becomes a fucking retard. Let's split up. No, I'm not splitting up with you. No, we are staying together. This thing, whatever it is that's going to try to kill us, we're not moving. We're not going outside. We're not doing anything. We're staying right here, barricading ourselves if need be. and trying to fight this thing, or we're getting the fuck out of there. No, we're not staying in the fucking woods anymore. I don't care about our stupid indie film. Fuck this. This thing that apparently we thought was bullshit is turning out to be real. Let's get the fuck out of here. How do we get out? We find a stream and follow it. That's how we fucking do it. Get out. Not camping. I'll walk through the night. Don't give a fuck. Getting out of these woods. Getting out. Not dealing with it. But everybody, the minute something scary shows up in these horror flicks, everybody's IQ drops immediately. They just become blithering idiots the minute some guy in a crazy mask shows up to stab them. It's just I can't get behind that when you're so convenient, and I can get behind stupid. Done it before. I can understand people being dumb, but when you're conveniently dumb, nah. You gotta do you gotta do a good job of selling me your idiocy. Sell me your idiocy properly, and I'll be able to buy into it. So Friday the 13th, have fun, I guess, on some stupid thing that means nothing. Don't understand it. Don't even understand the outside of the 13th connotation. Don't understand the reasoning behind it. I was thinking the other day about generalizations, and absolutes and generalizations kind of go hand in hand. Generalization is like a cousin, or no, probably more like the brother of absolute statements. Generalizations are pretty much the same, close, but not exactly as generalizations. So generalizations are pretty much the same, close, but not exactly, of absolute statements. And I was thinking, there's a lot of negativity surrounding generalization. Well, you're generalizing. That's bad. And then there's specific subsets of generalization, one of which is prejudice. When you generalize a certain group of people, we call that prejudice. And the subsets of that, sexism, misogyny, or misandry, racism is the big one, ageism, et cetera, et cetera. And, there's all these negative connotations as you go down the ladder, let's say, when they break off into subsets. Let's say absolute statements lead to, if you can imagine like a branching off tree of some kind, absolute statements lead to generalizations. One part of generalizations would be prejudice. And from prejudice, you get racism, sexism, all these other things. And as you go down that ladder, the negative connotation gets stronger and stronger. Absolute statements, there's all right, look, you probably shouldn't do that much. Generalizing, well, you're generalizing, right? Yeah. And then you prejudice, hey, whoa, you're being prejudicial. And then you get to racism and you say, whoa, what are you doing? The negative connotation gets stronger and stronger each level you go down that ladder, or each rung. But I just, there's something to be said for generalizations. And if there's something to be said for generalizing, then a rising tide lifts all boats. So if you can accept generalizing, you are tacitly reinforcing other forms of generalization, one of which is prejudice. Prejudice flows naturally from generalization. And my argument is, look, we are humans. We're not computers. We can't help but generalize. We can't help but use inductive reasoning. The big thing, the big inductive reasoning, and the what is it? One example, the big example that everybody knows is, I've lived in one part of the world my entire life, and every swan I've observed has been black. I've observed 3, 5, 10,000 swans in my life. All of them have been black. Thus, I extrapolate from that, every swan must be black. And that's inductive reasoning and not as sound as other kinds of reasoning, specifically deductive reasoning. However, my argument is inductive reasoning, you can't do deductive reasoning all the time. That's just not how we operate as humans. Humans operate on a level where we have no choice but to use inductive reasoning. Because we can't, yes, you can't see every swan. And similarly put in that example, 3,000, even 500, that's a good sample size. And you say, look, okay, it's wrong. Of course it can be wrong, but I look at this, I observe, and I can't possibly observe every swan. I know that, but I've got to make it, here's what I observe, and I've got to have an idea about it. I've got to have some proclamation about the nature of swans because I'm in the swan business, let's say. So I've got to say I've got to have some idea about the nature of swans, the nature of swanning. And I say, well, I've observed thousands of swans, all of which were black. It seems to reason that all swans are black. And that's inductive reasoning and supposedly inferior and not good. But what else am I supposed to do? I can't know everything. I can't know every swan. I can't see every swan. And it would be improper, or at least it would seem really, really hard to tell people, look, you can't say anything about anything unless you've observed every single swan ever, or unless you've observed every single species or family of swan ever. You can't say anything. You should withhold your proclamations, your hypotheses, until you've observed all these things. And then you can make proclamations, guesses, or experiment on the nature of swans. And I say, bringing it back to human interaction, I say, well, look, I cannot see every single, I don't know, let's choose a generalization together. Here, I'll keep it simple. It would be easy to go to attack, some kind of racism or whatever, but that's low-hanging fruit. I'm going to ask you, and we're going to play a little game where you're going to answer these questions in your head, and you're probably going to know where I'm going, or at least I hope you will. But regardless, I hope you answer these questions internally, honestly. For those of you that drive, do you drive at or around the speed limit? Yes or no? All right. Now, do you drive as fast as your car can go? Every single time you're on the road, are you pedal to the metal as fast as your car can go? Why not? Is it because you're scared of punishment? One. And is it also a little bit that you think it's dangerous, right? You think it's dangerous. You think driving really fast is dangerous. Is it not? That's a generalization. You have generalized driving really fast. NASCAR guys drive really fast. They don't die that often. It only becomes, what you're generalizing is the probability of being hurt or injuring yourself or somebody else while driving fast. You're generalizing that probability. You're saying, look, you've made a generalized judgment call. You say, look, I know I can drive fast, and I may be okay. I may be able to make it driving really fast. However, my chances of hurting myself or hurting other people goes up as I drive faster and faster. I still may make it. There's a distinct chance that I do. But because, look, you would be able to say, I don't drive fast because it's dangerous if every time you went above 100 miles an hour, you killed somebody. Every single time. If it was just a fact of life, a natural law that when your speedometer topped 100 miles an hour, you immediately killed somebody. That is concrete danger. That's what it is. Or every time your car went over 100 miles an hour, it flipped over. It just flipped over. Just because. Right? It suspend physics for a while. It just did it because that's a natural law. That's a concrete danger. You say, well, that's why I don't drive fast. But that's not what happens. So you can go 100 miles an hour now. You can go 120, 150 if you've got the horses. And you're not necessarily going to kill somebody. You're not necessarily going to harm somebody or yourself, but you don't do it, one, the punishment, and two, because you think, well, I might. And that's a generalization. There's a distinct possibility that you might not. In fact, there's many people who drive very fast, drive over the speed limit, and don't hurt themselves, don't hurt each other, don't hurt anybody else, don't break down their car, don't flip their car, don't crash their car. And they do it fine. But when you choose not to, you're generalizing. And we have to generalize. My point is we have to generalize because, look, I can't know every time that when I go over 100 miles an hour that I'm not going to crash my car. So you don't do it. And you have to generalize in every single facet of your life is reliant on generalizations. You know you might make it. In fact, you might trust yourself as a driver and think, I'm a really good driver. I could go 100 miles an hour and I know what I'm doing. But you generalize and say, that's pretty dangerous. I could make it, but I also might not. There's danger involved in that. When there's a guy driving erratically, you stay away from him. When there's, now we'll get into some more subtle stuff here. If you're walking down the street and you see guys in tatted up sleeves, I don't know, pick whatever they're wearing, jeans, all this denim stuff, ripped up. If you see bikers versus guys in business suits, okay, so we'll remove the subtle race element here. So it's bikers, hardcore bikers, tatted up sleeves, the fucking, I don't know, whatever else bikers wear. The little vests that they all wear, they're so cute. The 1%er. Oh, I'm a 1%er. They're the fucking 1%. See, let's see some of those Occupy motherfuckers try to occupy that 1%. Anyway, so you see those guys on one side of the street, and then on the other side, you see a group of businessmen walking down carrying attaché cases and wearing business suits. Which side of the street are you going to walk down? More often than not, which side would you choose? You got to pass them, and they're blocking your path. So you're going to have to interact with them in some way. What side of the street are you going to choose? Well, that's a generalization. Now, little did you know, those biker guys are the sweetest guys in the world. And those guys in the business suits are the guys from Payday, and they're robbing a bank, and they're going to kill you. But just on first blush, you generalize and say, no, the guys in business suits aren't going to kill me. They're not going to fuck with me. The biker guys probably will. They are more likely to fuck with me than the business suit guys. And you generalize and you pick which side of the street to go down. Why does everybody say you stay out of the south side of Chicago? Is that not a generalization? Is that not also a bit of a subtle racism? Oh my goodness. No, you stay out of the south side of Chicago, specifically areas like Maywood, because you might get fucking shot. And yeah, it's a generalization, but we have to generalize. We have to. And that's why, it's when you're talking about racial profiling or profiling in general as a police officer or in any kind of peacekeeping or I don't know, interrogation, investigation work. When you talk about profiling of any kind, well, look, there's a description out on the suspect, right? I'm a cop walking a beat, and I hear a description on the radio, robbery suspect, female, 5'9", walking away, running away from the bank with cash, you know, a distinct bag with a dollar sign on it, okay? Cartoonish criminal shit. And I say, okay, well, now I'm on the lookout for a female suspect. But, profiling. I'm profiling. Can't do that. Can't do it. Cannot do it. That's wrong. You need to look everybody up and down equally. You know, in my lifetime, there's only been one group of people that use violence or the threat of violence to hijack planes and use them as missiles to fly them into strategic targets. Only one group of people does that. Okay? And you're damn right. If some guy's pale with reddish hair and he's talking about his wee baby Moira and how great it is to live in the Republic, I'm gonna what the you know, fucking that guy might have a bomb. What the fuck? To talk to my wee baby Moira in the Great Republic in the Protestant church. I'm doing a shitty Irish accent, but aren't you more like, oh man, maybe this guy's in the fucking NRA. What the fuck? Let's check him out. Check him out. Profiling. Look, racism. There's a fine line between racism and profiling, but my point is, generalizing. Generalizations generalizing is acceptable. We all do it in all facets of life. And to draw the line arbitrarily at race, at age, at sex, or gender, or even gender identity, whatever the fuck that is, gender identity. Do you have a dick or you got a vagina? You got both? All right, well, you're this. Gender identity. What the fuck is that? Anyway, look, we generalize everything. And we can't help but generalize for certain groups of people. In certain ways, in certain contexts, we generalize. And I can't really... I would find it hard to blame somebody for generalizing. Look, if I'm a police officer and I'm walking down the street and I work if I'm a fresh cop and I get the shitty patrol, we'll start with the non-racial thing first. You'll learn to hate humanity pretty quick because all you deal with as a police officer pretty much is the scum of the earth, criminals. And so you start looking at everybody as a criminal. Because that's what you do. You can't help but generalize. So now you're in Maywood, a densely black populated area, and you're dealing with black criminals. That's all you see. How do you not start to generalize, what the fuck? So you do start carrying, and everybody's shooting at you. Same thing happened in Vietnam. Same thing probably happened to people coming back from combat operations in Iraq. Everybody might have a gun, and they might start shooting at you. You kick in the door, you don't know who's going to pick up the weapon. You don't know who's going to pop out of a little cave and just start taking shots at you. You don't know who's going to do it, so you start thinking everybody might do it. Because you can't help but generalize. We as a species have to generalize because we simply cannot account for and allow for every permutation of every possible scenario. I can't account for every woman. Look, if you're a female, you're probably a worse driver than I am. I can't account for every Danica Patrick. I can't say, well, hold on, I must withhold judgment until I go look at every single female and say, oh, how good of a driver are you? How good are you? How good are you? Da, 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 da. I have to make a judgment like that. I have to make snap judgments every day. Everybody does. So you generalize, and it's okay. It's okay to generalize. Now, when you act on those generalizations, then you become... Then you go from being, let's say, a racist to committing racism. You go from being a sexist or a misogynist to committing sexism or committing misogyny. I don't know what the corollary would be for prejudice. But when you start acting on your prejudice and you start inhibiting others, well, then then we got to talk about what's wrong. However, the very act of generalizing isn't bad. It's not inherently immoral because we all do it, and we all have to do it because as humans we can't possibly conceive of every permutation, of every possible outcome, of every possible trial. We can't do it. So we say, it's close enough. Call it a day. Close enough, call it a day, and go from there. We do it all the time. We do it with everything, but for some reason, we arbitrarily draw the lines and hamper ourselves. There was a movement a couple years ago to try to stop the reporting of the suspected race of a suspect in a crime. Somebody was honestly trying to get the news reporters to stop. Look, don't give out the race of the suspect. Just say male suspect in his 30s. Don't say black male 30s. Just say male 30s. Well, what the fuck? Why? Oh, because you're generalizing. It was fucking exactly. We've got Why would we allow the completely artificial, manufactured outrage that we've subscribed to racial generalization to hamper a crime investigation? The search for a suspected criminal. What the fuck? Why? Because special interest group lobbying, we've all had this ingrained that, we all generalize, but when you generalize here, it's especially bad. Well, what the fuck? Who drew that line? Pretty sure that's arbitrary and capricious. All right, we'll do a little news. Let's do it. Oh yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. Leading in from the prejudice racial talk, we're going to talk about Donald Sterling a bit. Going to fight the NBA. We're going to talk about teen sex. Lots of teens having sex, not wearing rubbers. Elon Musk, CEO of Tesla Motors, did something that I think was pretty cool, and we'll talk about GM, again in the news for being fucking morons, and somehow I think nobody's going to go to prison. They're going to pay a fine. Nobody's going to go to prison. But it's the news. We got a lot to talk about. California man accidentally murdered after a jury acquits him. So it's the news with Lefty. Let's get into it. Donald Sterling, baby. I'm talking a lot about prejudice, racist versus racism. Donald Sterling is a racist who has committed racism. He's got both kinds. He's done it. He's not just a prejudice man. He's a man who clearly acts on his prejudice to oppress others or to suppress others and to negatively impact others. Donald Sterling, gigantic piece of shit. However, Donald Sterling is going to fight the NBA. Finally. Oh, my goodness. I was scared. Donald Sterling, the disgraced owner of the LA Clippers, still the owner of the LA Clippers in the NBA. After secret recordings were leaked by his girlfriend, V. Stiviano. Just get a first fucking name. After that, in which he was some questionable things were said regarding black people on his in his home, and after that he was removed or banned permanently permanently banned from the NBA. Got a perma ban from the mods, banned forever, lifetime ban from the NBA, which a couple more years. The guy's 84 years old. And fined $2 million, and the NBA was going to force the sale of his team. And originally, Donald Sterling said, I'm going to fight it. Then he said, I'll just go through with it. And former CEO of Microsoft was apparently in line to buy, I think outright, $2 billion. He was just going to put up $2 billion. Like, here you go, to buy the LA Clippers, or at least was heading a group. But Donald Sterling now says, no, I'm fighting this. I'm going to fight you, the NBA. and he's alleging a whole bunch of things that the NBA violated his free speech rights, his right to due process, and all these things. And it's great. And now apparently there's a source from the AP. This is on Fox News. Donald Sterling hires 4 private investigators to dig up dirt on NBA heads owners. A person with knowledge of Los Angeles Clippers owner Donald Sterling's legal strategy says his team of lawyers has hired 4 private investigation firms to dig up dirt on the NBA's former and current commissioners and its 29 owners. Oh my God, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. This is going to be so good. The Schadenfreude is strong here. I cannot wait. Oh my goodness, to see this. I mean, it's just rich people hurling insults at other rich people. They're like political bullshit campaigns, but this is going to be played out in court. So there's a higher incentive to not lie and bullshit, as it would be, at least much higher than in a political campaign where it's, oh, Dan Johnson likes to rape children. I think I approve this message. Praise be to Dale. But the individual who wasn't authorized to talk publicly, which means he was, says investigators were given a 6-figure budget over the next 30 days to examine the league's finances, allegations of previous discriminatory conduct, and compensation to past commissioner David Stern and current commissioner Adam Silver. They're also looking into whether other owners ever made any off-color jokes or racist or sexist remarks. Oh my God, this is going to be so cool. I really hope a commenter brought it up on Reddit. I'm hoping to learn more about perhaps some transgressions regarding fixing games and shaving points, and or NBA commissioners telling referees, look, we can't have the fucking Kings, the Sacramento Kings, in the finals. We can't. No. Kobe's got to do it. Give the series to Kobe. 2002 Western Conference Finals. I believe it was the 2002 Western Conference Finals, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great to see. This is going to be better than theater. Just rich guys attacking other rich guys, and it's all going to be played out for the public. And I'm interested to see if the people that were upset at Donald Sterling for essentially Donald Sterling's private thoughts, I wonder if the thought police are going to be as out in force when Donald Sterling effectively outs other NBA owners and perhaps even commissioners for being racist, sexist douchebags. I wonder if that's going to... Are people going to be as, oh my God, outrage, or is somebody... I can't wait for one of the many people who were excited and could not wait to be thought police and celebrating the policing of inner thoughts. I can't wait for one of them to say, well, this was the result of a private investigation into somebody's personal life, and this is not good. I won't get behind or celebrate this. I can't wait for it to happen, because it's going to happen to at least one person. It might be some asshole on Twitter, but I can't wait for a pundit is going to put his or her foot in their mouth, in their respective mouth, or each other's mouths. I don't know. Maybe they just get down like that. Concerning this issue, oh my God, well, Donald Sterling is just outing and manufacturing bullshit about all these other people. No, if you were as excited about thought policing Donald Sterling, well, you better be just as goddamn excited at all the things he's going to unearth. And I'm guessing there's a lot. And here's the other thing that I want to just nip in the bud right now. I want to talk about due process. Again, not an attorney. I play one on YouTube. Donald Sterling is alleging that the NBA violated his right to due process. He's saying, you cannot force the sale. You cannot remove my ownership of this property that is the Los Angeles Clippers basketball club. You can't force me to sell the team. No. It's not your property. It's mine. And to just force the sale and say you don't own this anymore violates my right of due process. And that can't happen. But a lot of people are content with just saying, well, due process doesn't apply to private business matters. The NBA is a private business. call it a day. That's it. No more. No. Donald Sterling, the NBA can't violate your due process rights because they're not a state actor. And while that's obvious, that's the easy response. Oh, no. Can't violate due process rights because they're not a state actor. Okay. Here's the thing, though. There's been more than a few cases where good old boys down in Alabama were tried federally, put on in federal court for violating the civil rights of some other private citizen. The precedent has been set that a person can violate the civil rights of another. A person, not a state actor, not state, not government, not a municipality, not the police, not anybody. Private citizen can infringe on the civil rights of another. And we've set the precedent that that's wrong. And you can't do that. You, a private citizen, cannot interfere with and abridge the civil rights of somebody else. Can't do it. And, corporations are people, technically speaking. A lot of people like to bring that out. Well, the corporation is a person. The corporation gets a vote. That's why corporations can donate tens of millions of dollars to political campaigns. Because what? The corporation can't have a voice? The corporation's a person. All right. Okay. Well, then if a corporation is a person, and we've already kind of explored the idea of people violating the civil rights of other people, well, then is it not possible that a corporation can violate the civil rights of somebody? And is not due process a civil right? That's kind of a big deal. So I say to everybody that says, no, it can't happen. That's not you can't allege that somebody's violating your civil rights. I say bullshit. Because, and for good reason, for good goddamn reason, the federal government said, no. A private citizen can violate the civil rights. The federal government can try you for violating the civil rights of somebody else. We've already done that. We've already explored that idea, at least. Theoretical, we've thought about it, and we put it out in the public, and society has kind of said, yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So just now, because it might protect a racist is not, and a committer of racism is not sufficient reason to just say simply, oh, well, due process can't be violated by a private entity. Yes, it can, I would argue. And here's the other thing. Here's the final point. Even if it might be a narrow technicality or a technical legal point that I am not really equipped to discuss to its fullest extent, because I have a lack of formal training or education in that regard. Don't you want to explore that idea? Don't you want to? Wouldn't you want a judge and possibly a jury to look at this thing, to look at this whole thing, to look at it all, the whole of what happened to Donald Sterling, recorded surreptitiously, illegally by his girlfriend, a romantic confidant, and then released to the public, and then forcing the sale of at least $1 billion asset. A private corporation takes ownership and leverages sale or forces sale of $1 billion asset from another private citizen. The NBA said, you no longer own this. We do. We're selling it. Fuck you. Don't you want to at least look at that? I mean, yeah, the guy's a racist piece of shit. Donald Sterling's a racist piece of shit. Yes. But don't you want the government to at least look at it? Don't you want a judicial body to look at the whole thing and say, should we really allow this to happen? Because keep in mind, I don't think this has ever happened before, where the sale, forcing the sale of $1 billion asset, one private corporation saying to a private citizen, you no longer own this, we do, we're selling your asset, and fuck you if you don't like it. Never really happened before. And while it's happening, it couldn't happen to a quote nicer guy. because Donald Sterling's a piece of shit. You know, I kind of want that to be looked at. I want somebody to look at that and say, you know, yeah, it might technically be on the up and up, but this is just to this extent, this isn't okay. So we're not going to allow this. You can't do it. Yeah, technically you've got a point, NBA, in that you're a private corporation. You can't really violate due process, I suppose. Oh, despite the fact that even in the NBA Constitution, there is a due process clause of sorts that says in order to force the sale of a team, Sterling has to have notice and an opportunity to be heard. There has to be at least some kind of hearing for Donald Sterling to make his case, and the other owners would have to sign off on a formal complaint of sorts to leverage the sale, and none of that happened. So even by the due process clause in the bullshit NBA Constitution, yeah, Donald Sterling had his due process rights violated. But that doesn't fit with the he's a racist piece of shit and anything bad that happens to him is the best thing to happen to him narrative. So no, can't violate due process. Actually, in a couple of ways, yeah, you can, and it has happened. It's actually happened because there wasn't a hearing before the sale of the team. Sterling wasn't given an opportunity to be heard, and that's part of the NBA secret constitution. And number two, just from a societal moral standpoint, I don't know. I would hope that even the most ardent disliker or hater of Donald Sterling would say, you know, maybe we should look at this. Maybe we should have a judge and a jury and put this through wash this through the judicial washing machine to see if this comes out squeaky clean. Maybe we should just see, or if it falls apart. Because just something about you own this, except when we say you don't, and now we're selling it for you, and you can fuck right off. Again, signed it all away, signed the contract, yeah. You can sign away the right to your firstborn child, but does that mean it's going to pass muster? I don't think so. Wouldn't you want to judge if you signed an end user license agreement? Mojang is going to up and change the end user license agreement on many server owners, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But you know, if Mojang just slipped something in there, and by the way, we have the right to your firstborn child. Well, you read it and you signed it, didn't you? Well, that means they got your firstborn child. Wouldn't you want somebody to look at that, or you just say, okay, you have my firstborn child. Here you go. No, you say, I kind of want somebody to look at this. I'm going to sue you. I want to make sure this is okay. I mean, yeah, I read it and I signed it at the time, but this is kind of fucked up. To actually act on this in this way, no, I want somebody to look at it. You would, wouldn't you? And I hope most people would. Because if you can honestly sit there, if anybody can honestly sit there and say, no, this is all on the up and up, fuck Donald Sterling, fuck him, I don't care about his billion-dollar asset, etc., you know, it's pretty scary. That's a pretty scary road to go down, I would think, and I would hope people are equally scared about going down that road. So let's not get into any other news. Oh, by the way, you know, some good news. Elon Musk, rock star of Twitter and Tesla fame, the Tesla automobile. Now, as much shit as I give electric cars, just because I think people aren't really looking into the consequences of the entire practice, fully at least, the Tesla car just looks fucking awesome. It looks so cool. But Elon Musk released all of the patents that Tesla had previously owned. Elon Musk, CEO, founder of Tesla Motor Inc., I'm assuming it's Tesla Motor Inc., released all of the patents as it pertains to the Tesla motor car and the electric motors and all this stuff. That he released it today. And or yesterday. Well, it posted a blog on the Tesla website saying, we released it all. It's all part of the public now. Go for it. Here you go. You can all do this now. And that's fucking cool. That's cool. This is what I'm talking about when I say just take a little bit less. I mean, why would it be just the endless profit. Fuck them. We got to get profit. We got to make more and more and more and more because that's capitalism and that's that's bad. I view that as bad, or at least not good for the progression of society. And I think why is the notion of take just a little bit less so alien? You know, oh my God, prices have to go up if you raise the minimum wage. And my biggest thing is, no, they don't. If you've got a profit margin, right? Right. Take a little bit less. What is so wrong about that? Why is that so foreign and alien and evil to some people? Why is that notion so evil? Yeah, take a little bit less. McDonald's, Walmart, Target, whatever the fuck. Take a little bit less. Oh, I'm a paper-thin margin. Well, you're making billions in profit, right? You can make it work out, I think. You know, you go from a 3% profit margin to a 2.5% profit margin on, I don't know, 10 billion in sales is still pretty fucking good. You're still going to the bank a lot. Why, you know, the notion of taking a little bit less has such a negative connotation, and, you know, it's fascist and communist and all these evil things, and it's wrong, but it's really better. And here's Elon Musk just saying, yeah, Tesla Motors is going to make less money now in the future, in the long term, probably, because they don't have these patents secured. He has released them. Tesla Motor, by way of Elon Musk, has released all these patents into the public, and they will make less money because of it. In some circuitous route, might they maintain or even make more? Maybe. But the fact remains that if they don't have these profits secured, they're probably going to make less money. It's probably not good. It's probably a little bit bad for their business to not have these patents anymore. And this is Elon Musk saying, yeah, that's okay. I'm okay with that, because what people can do with these patents without having to pay me, or without me having an actionable case against them is better for society, for the larger society, for humans, than for me, Elon Musk, and my Tesla corporation. And this is fucking awesome to see, and great on Elon Musk. And I want to hold this up to society and say, look, this is fucking awesome. Not because you know the technical thing of here's our proprietary stuff that you can now use and improve upon and better all this stuff, and that marketplace of ideas is really cool. But the thing I take away from it is Elon Musk is a very, very, very rich dude, and while I don't like the lack of analog dials on the SpaceX capsule, I think that's a little bit silly. You know, this is him saying, I'll take a little bit less. And I want to hold that up to society and say, this is important. This notion of this very rich man who could make more money holding on to these patents and demanding money from people that infringe on that patent, he's taking less, and he's saying this is okay. It's okay to take a little bit less, and I want everybody to see, oh, that's the thing, at least for me. That's the lead here. The marketplace of ideas with respect to electric motors, yeah, cool. Have fun with your little cute electric cars. The big thing is taking less is okay. And this should be celebrated. Elon Musk should be lauded because he's taking a little bit less. And that's great for society. And I think that would make us all a little bit better if instead of, wow, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for these workers that are making a livable wage now? How am I going to pay for these workers that now need health care? How am I going to pay for all this stuff? Take it a little bit less. That's how you pay for it. And that's okay. And it's great to see Elon Musk. Perhaps this might, I don't know, learn some people some things in that regard. So let's talk a little bit about Mojang. You know, there's a lot of talk been going on. I know Woody's Gamertag owns Woody Craft. I do Painkiller already with him. Runs a fantastic dynamite Minecraft server, and Mojang, the owners, developers and owners of Minecraft, are going to redo their end user license agreement to reflect and supposedly strictly enforce the notion that that server owners cannot profit off of Minecraft. They cannot profit off of selling plugins, whether they develop them or not. You can't in any way sell that or profit from it. And there's been a whole to-do about ethics, and people are saying, well, they're got to be ethical. Some fucking Canadian dudes all like ethical, and this is the same guy who did a lot of news stories, a lot of in the news stuff, a lot of tagging done when he was running a YouTube channel, but somehow that all passed muster, and it's unethical to profit off of Minecraft, I guess. Anyway, a lot of talk and a lot of uproar against server owners for, oh my God, you're profiting off of children, and even Mojang and the owner, I believe it's Marcus Pearson. They call him Notch. Even Notch was saying, yeah, you're unethical and you're profiting off of children. That's not okay. That's not okay. And there's everybody puts their foot in their mouth once in a while. Everybody does it. Everybody fucking does it. You say something that is running completely against what you're doing, and it just, viewed from the outside, oh my God. And everybody does it, and it's okay. It doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you inherently evil, unless it's habitual and, if it's serial, well, uh-oh. But, Notch, you're talking a lot about profiting, and you're profiting from children, and you can't profit, you can't charge for gameplay, and I just ask, how much is Minecraft? Is it freeware? Is Minecraft freeware? What's that? Hold on, I'm getting something in my ear from the producer. Oh yeah, no, it's fucking not. Okay, all right, okay, okay. It doesn't prove anything. It just gives me an idea of where you're operating from. And so, we all stick our foot in our mouths, but at some point, don't you really, you can't not realize that when you are the owner operator of Minecraft, and Minecraft is still $20 on PC, and you've got the top rated mobile game app for $7 on the Google Play Store. I don't know how much it is on the iTunes Store, probably the same. But can't you not realize that you are putting your foot directly to the fucking heel? You are putting your foot in your mouth when you're like, oh, charging for gameplay is morally wrong and unethical and ethics. You're not selling freeware there, Notch. You're making a lot of money here too. And here's the thing: there's a whole talk about ethics, and morals. Minecraft has been profiting, Mojang, by way of Minecraft, has been profiting a lot from the life that private servers has given the game. I'm told, not a Minecraft player, nobody plays vanilla Minecraft anymore. It's not a big deal to spawn in and you dig and you find and then you build. You play game modes, you use plugins, you things developed outside of the original game are used to continue the game. And this has been going on for years. And it has been, technically speaking, against the end user license agreement to profit from Minecraft as a private server owner. That's been in it. That's in the end user license agreement now. But Mojang hasn't said a damn word. They haven't said anything. They have grown and tacitly reinforced and confirmed that these private server business models are acceptable. And they've done it, and they've done kind of with a wink and a nod business with each other for years. And now all of a sudden, whoa, can't do it, unethical. How's that for ethics? How's that for morals? Yeah, we've got a wink and a nod business going on. Yeah. Technically speaking, whatever, just develop your servers. We'll give you support. Go for it. Yeah, have fun. And then all of a sudden, yeah, we're making gobs of money together. And then all of a sudden, nope, no more. We're going to publicly shame you. You're all unethical, amoral bastards. Well, what the fuck? Where's the ethics there? Huh? How about, you know what? We're making gobs of money together and just be reasonable about it, and I've got nothing to say. Okay. There you go. Can't people make gobs of money together without trying to slit each other's throats? So how's that for ethics? Oh, well, yeah, we're doing business together. Oh, shit, somebody's saying something publicly? No, fuck this guy. Fuck this other guy. Fuck him. They're unethical, immoral bastards. Fuck them all. Well, what the fuck? So, yeah, technically, you can't charge for things in game, but, come on. Everybody's been profiting from it from a good while, creating really nice products that thousands upon thousands of people enjoy and play regularly and entertain themselves on and with regularly. Why can't you just let people have their hustle, man? They're not gouging kids. They're not doing that. It's a business. Oh, you can't sell to kids. Selling to kids is unethical. Oh, really? Then how'd they get the fucking game? Mr. Ethics Man, all the ethics people out there, you can't sell to kids. Selling to kids is so wrong. It's wrong. How'd they get the game? How'd they get it? Was it a present from mommy and daddy? Odds are no, they were sold the game. They were. The thing that the original sale that got them the game, not even talking about the subsequent sales on servers for items and stuff. No, not even talking about that. The sale itself was originally unethical because you're selling to kids, right? Well, just, you gotta, at some point, okay. It's only unethical when you believe you're on the wrong side. It's only immoral when, I don't know, maybe your server isn't making enough money. Then it's unethical and immoral. Okay. All right. I see how it is. That's essentially how it is. Now, if everybody's freaking out and worried, I read the Minecraft end user license agreement as it stands now, and if Mojang tries to apply that same little cavalier "I'm your buddy" verbiage to the new end user license agreement, it's going to be just as unenforceable as the current end user license agreement. Because the current end user license agreement says you cannot sell in-game items. It is completely up to us what constitutes an in-game item. Fuck you, blah, 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 blah. All this stuff that we own everything, you do nothing, et cetera, completely unenforceable. Good luck enforcing that and not having, again, because, what's this, all this defense, all these people, this new end user license agreement, blah, 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 blah. What matters to me is what a judge says when a judge sees it. And it would appear to me that the scope of the current end user license agreement, and if the new EULA is anything like it, it's going to be just as unenforceable, because a judge, any reasonable person would look at this and say, what the fuck? How can you honestly try to enforce this? All these things that you say are just completely nebulous and mean nothing. What is this? This is nothing. This isn't anything. These are just requests. That's what it is. It's that line from the Blues Brothers. Here's this song. Hey, Jake, I don't think we know any of these songs. Let me see that. Oh, these don't mean anything. These are just requests. Play a regular set. That's exactly what it is. The end user license agreement these are just requests. The verbiage is such bullshit. The wording is so just, ugh. It means nothing. You can't enforce anything on this. Take this away from me. This means nothing. Let's go back to doing business together. Can't we just make a lot of money from each other? Can't we just do that? Can we go back to that, please? Instead of the pointless posturing in public of, oh, well, I am ethical. You are not. Can we just stop it and just all go back to making a lot of money? Is that okay? Why again, sign off the show with this thought. Why can't people just make gobs of money together without slitting each other's throats? It seems like it would be an easy principle to abide by. I'm making gobs of money. You're making gobs of money. Let's do it together and not shoot each other. Okay. All right, let's bring it home. Woo! Another great Lefty show. Thank you to everybody for joining. I had a great time. I hope you did as well. Be sure to thank you to everybody for watching, liking, favoriting, subscribing on YouTube, youtube.com/LeftyOX. I greatly appreciate it. Helping the channel grow helps the show grow. Thank you to everybody that has been and will share the show with your friends, family, and co-workers. Say, hey, check out this podcast. It's the greatest of all time. Take another bong hit, get high with your mom, and watch the Lefty Show. It's easier now. We're mobile. Go to iTunes. You can go to, or just go to leftyshow.podbean.com and subscribe to the RSS feed. We're also on iTunes. Go to the iTunes store, search the Lefty Show, subscribe there. Take the Lefty Show with you wherever you go. Thank you everybody for donating. I'mRacing.com/643 Productions. There's a link in the description. Thank you to everybody donating. Help keep the show afloat. I'mRacing.com/643 Productions. That's my time. I got to get out of here. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. I'll catch you next time. I'm out. Bye. Everybody has affinity for cock.